Hello, it's good to have you join us again for your favorite program. This is Close Flow coming to you from NTA2 Lagos Network Center. We know that you're out there again, waiting patiently for us to unveil yet another distinguished Nigerian who's going to be sharing with us some really, really important experiences. The good thing about today, and I'm excited about that, is because I won't tell you about our guest yet, because I like to keep that, with me until I surprise all of you. But just be sure that you are part of this conversation, because it's critical to how you're going to survive in this our environment. So guesting with us today, we are going to be looking or speaking with or digging into the brains of a Nigerian who graduated with honors as a medical doctor, as a surgeon in one of Nigeria's most prestigious universities, that's Obafemi Awolowo University. And this guest, incidentally, also has other feathers, to our caps. We are going to be sharing those caps with her today, As a matter of fact, she also pioneered a number of initiatives. Did I say she? I shouldn't have said that. Okay, also pioneered a number of initiatives coordinating the Eco-Free Health Initiative here in Lagos. Also the desk officer for mental health program, which actually led to the, if you believe it, the first law about mental health for Lagos State. That came out of that desk. So you can see what I'm saying, that our guest actually, I must say again today, is highly altruistic, is a goal-driven surgeon, a medical expert, as well as an international public servant. It's not just about Lagos business. This our guest is doing some work that is recognized by the UNESCO. So we are going to be looking at all this as part of what we are doing to improve our environment, our safety, our well-being, and how Nigeria can be one of the richest nations on the face of the earth. Our topic, our conversation with our guest is going to be about governance in the environment and how that can become the greatest and widest shield for both public health and wealth, using Lagos State as a role model. Stay with us and be sure that you are here with your pencil, your biro, your paper to ask all the questions that you'd like to ask. Stay with us and we're back.
Experience unlimited super-fast internet access from Entel 4G. Entel. Live more. Hey beautiful, your eyes, your smile are all begging me to take you home tonight.
Now reading page 3.
Experience unlimited super-fast internet access from Entel 4G. Entel.
Thank you for staying with us. It's still Close Flow from NTA2 Lagos Network Center. Well, I'm sure you are already onto our social media handles. You can be sure to send in your comments, your questions to our guest. Our guest, incidentally, I must tell you, is the first female chief executive managing or running or looking after this particular office. This office is here in Lagos. And Lagos right now, as a center of excellence with about 20 million people, probably has the primary responsibility on how to take care of the environment. So my pleasure to welcome on your behalf, onto Close for today, the first and the sixth general manager of the first female and the sixth general manager of Lagos State Environmental Protection Agency, Dr. Adedolapo Ayokunle Fashawe. You're welcome to Close Flow.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Fola.
Thank you.
First of all,
yes, she wants to clarify something. Yes, quickly, please.
I am a public health physician
Yes.
with interests in surgery
Okay.
and psychiatry. I
Tracy,
am not a surgeon.
she is correcting me publicly. Me too, I'm going to correct her very soon about this, our environment. Can we give her a round of applause for that? Thank you very much. Now, okay, she's not a surgeon, but she has a
Diplomas.
yes,
Yes.
in surgery. Now, okay, let's look at the environment itself and what we are looking at today. Now, how much of danger would you see coming from the environment if you don't manage it properly? What kind of risk, what kind of threats are we exposed to if we don't manage our environment properly? Coming from you as a doctor to start with.
Yes. Thank you very much for having me here. And it's a very broad conversation, but we have to start from somewhere. The only thing we all have in common is the air we breathe worldwide. The
That's true.
constitution of the air
That's true.
is the same. The water we drink
It's the same.
is H2O, hydrogen and oxygen is the same.
All over the world.
Yes, water is water. It's a chemical. So, if we keep polluting the waters and polluting
The air.
we're killing ourselves. The environment is something that has been given to us to take care of for generations
To come.
Are we doing that?
Now that is very salient. You are now warning everybody that this environment that you are talking about, it is not somebody's business. It is actually each of us. We
Yes.
have.
So, that takes me to Lasepa. Lasepa is that arm of government that protects the environment. We call ourselves the environmental police. What we do is strictly what our name says, Lagos State
Environmental Protection
Agency. And I came on board a year and a half ago, and Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu was very, very, very interested in the environment. Hence, his 6 thrust pillar themes.
Themes, yes.
He puts health and environment
Together.
Without a good environment, there's no health.
And there's no wealth.
And there's no wealth. Definitely no wealth. Now, is the environment where we want it to be? In Lagos, the answer is no. We're battling floods, climate change, biodiversity issues, burning of fossil fuels, unclean energy, and even air pollution, which is one of the biggest killers in the world right now.
Now, I like that. I like the way you have captured all this. Now, it is estimated that Lagos State actually produce or generate about 13,000 metric tons of waste every day. Now, my question is, have you mapped this waste? What are they? Have you categorized them? Can we begin to see the level of threats coming from all this waste?
Okay. I would like to say waste is a raw material for wealth.
Oh, you are
Yes.
reversing?
Yes.
Wow.
Waste is a raw material for wealth.
If you know what to do with it.
If you know what to do with it, if you handle it properly. And it wouldn't be an insult to the environment. The waste we generate in Lagos consists of dry waste, wet waste, vegetal waste, even electrical and electronic waste.
You'll come to that.
There's an agency under my parent ministry, Lagos State Waste Management Agency.
Yeah.
And their business
ACE.
is to ensure that waste is moved from A to B without polluting the environment.
Wow.
So we regulate the activities of LOMA. We regulate what goes on at the dump sites. We regulate how to, we ensure that in dealing with waste, the environment is
It's
not
safe.
affected.
Now,
Yes.
okay, look, you are also a medical person. So for you, as citizens, are we doing enough in terms of, now you are policing the environment, yes, but are we doing enough as citizens? Do we own, are we responding appropriately to some of the things that you would like us to do to keep the environment safe?
So there's something called self-compliance. But it cannot happen without education, advocacy, communication, information. As a public health physician, we always say education is not a one-way track. We must be able to communicate. We must be able to get feedback. Now, if you do not know something is a threat to your health, then you don't know.
And that ignorance can be a problem.
But it's not an excuse. So we're here not only to police the environment, but also to teach and advocate. I'll give you a simple example. For a woman who cooks with firewood every day for a month, it's as good as smoking a pack of cigarettes every 2 days.
Excuse me, are you listening to that? Hello, am I talking to somebody there?
It's a report. It was a study done by World Bank, the cost of air pollution in Lagos State.
Wow.
And
No, can you repeat it again, please? If you, a woman,
cooking with firewood, inhaling those fumes every day for a month, it is equivalent to smoking a pack of cigarettes every 2 days.
wow,
And cigarettes cause
cancer. Now, wait, Doc, can you extrapolate that with, how about coal? Are you exposed to the same thing if you use charcoal?
Yes, so we are starting to move away from fossil fuels, dirty fuels, fossil burning. When you burn coal, you emit certain fumes, substances, particles into the air. Some of them are called greenhouse gases. They lead to climate change, they lead to global warming, and most importantly, your own health. What you breathe in. The lungs are made to breathe in
Fresh
clean
air.
Another good example, just in the spirit of advocacy.
Yes.
When they say, oh, a family of 6 was found dead.
Yes.
Because their generator was indoors.
Yes, the room, yes.
So when you have combustion of fuel, it produces carbon monoxide, which our lungs and our system cannot process. That is how you find people
dying.
dead. Now, if that generator were outside, dilution, the oxygen in the air,
Yes.
would
Lower
neutralize.
the monoxide, okay.
So now, we're talking about people cooking directly over soups. We're talking about people working with asbestos. We're talking about people that their trade keeps them near generators day in, day out. We're talking about even the regular person on the streets. We did a study in
Lagos,
Lasepa.
yes.
Yes, in Lagos. And there's something called source apportionment. Where is the pollution coming from?
Yes.
What is causing dirty air?
Yes.
What is giving us these particulate matters? In Lagos, it was traffic. It was from cars.
Wow.
In other
Transportation,
countries,
yes.
transportations. In other countries, we have industries, like in China.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. You can even see the huge cloud of, chemicals in the air.
So what we're saying is a big conversation. We have to find alternate modes of transport. We have to carpool. We have to go on the waters. We have to ride bicycles just to reduce the amount
of carbon in the air.
Yes.
Okay, now that is, like you said, it's a big conversation, and I'm sure His Excellency, Mr. Governor, would be looking at that and the way forward as part of the themes. But another thing that I'm worried about for you, especially for Lasepa, will be now. So, how many of these projects have you initiated? How many have you pushed out for members of the public to buy into, to lock into, or to see if they can even get educated and see if they can improve their lives? How many of such programs do we have applied?
Okay, so like I said, advocacy and education
Yes.
is the first thing. We have a very, very detailed website where you can get information. But outside that, Corona has
Created
reduced man-to-man
interaction,
discussion.
yes.
Yeah, so we're online. We have Zoom meetings. We call town hall meetings. We educate people. Now, the thing is, Lagosians especially have come to notice Lasepa because we deal with air pollution
Yes.
as well. And the most common complaints we get is noise pollution.
Yes.
So we use that avenue to also explain that there are other sorts of pollution. So when you complain about your neighbor's generator causing you sleepless nights, we also tell you that the fumes from the generator is not good for your health.
It's as bad as the noise, or probably worse than the noise.
Yes. So we have different avenues of educating
out,
people. And I would like to say to the audience, what is clean and what is dirty
Dirty is dirty.
We don't need to enforce or
Or color it.
come and lock up your stores or your restaurants or your industries. You know what is clean. You know what is right. And for manufacturers, there's something called trade effluent.
Yes.
The remnants
Yes.
of whatever
you're manufacturing.
you're
Yes.
manufacturing. You have to dispose of it in an environmentally safe
Safe.
and sound manner. A lot of manufacturers just dump into the Atlantic Ocean. What does that do?
What you are saying is very dangerous. That's what you're saying.
Exactly. The fishes eat, and then we eat the fish.
Oh no.
Yes.
So we're recycling the death sentence, as it were.
Not that, but we just have to take care of the environment. What is right, what is wrong. I tell my
how really
people,
painful is this for you? I mean, emotionally,
It's-
because you're also
yes,
a mother.
I'm-
So
I'm-
how do you feel about all?
I'm passionate, very passionate about this, because it's disturbing that someone would go out of his house and pour fecal matter into the gutter. It's disturbing and worrying that anyone would just treat waste like it was water. I want to tell you that everything we pour into our gutters, into our drainages, end up in one big body of water.
Which we not consume again. Wow. Now, okay, let's see how Lagosians are going to be part of this. Yes, midway, we are going to find a way to be sure that you can, join this conversation. Okay, so we're going to put the telephone lines, on the screen, so you can take down, the numbers you're going to call, the social media handles, so you're going to reach us, so that we can let you also speak with Dr. Fashawe, because it's very important. She has said to us that, look, you have a responsibility, because that fecal waste you are dumping in that water that goes into the lagoon, that fish will eat it, and tomorrow you go to the market to go and buy that same fish to feed your children. That's what she's saying here. Now let's move on to the next thing. One other thing that we are worried about in Lagos is the dumping of plastics, especially plastic bags. Virtually we use everything. Even bottled water, we use plastic. So how are you?
Well, I'm very happy to announce that my parent ministry, the Ministry of Environment, is working on a draft plastic policy for Lagos State.
Wow.
There's also a national plastic policy which would be rolled out soon.
Okay.
There's a study going on which I am part of, sponsored by United Nations and Japanese government.
Okay.
Finding alternatives
To plastic. Wow.
Now, before we find alternatives, a plastic is non-biodegradable. Bury it for 100 years, you would meet it there. Every single plastic ever made is hanging out in the air somewhere or buried somewhere. And that is a scientific fact. So how do we manage plastic? We recycle, we reuse, we reduce.
We recycle, we reuse, then we reduce.
Until we find alternatives. Now there's some called single-use plastic not be recycled or
reduced.
Which cannot be reused.
But it can be recycled. Okay.
In Lasepa, as of today, we have banned the use of single-use plastics.
When you say banned?
Yes, in that agency. Nobody, guests, staff, visitor can come in. On your way in, we check you.
Okay.
If you have single-use plastic,
yes,
we replace it with something
that's reusable. Yes.
Cotton bag made of cassava husk. Yes, cassava husk. Waste to wealth.
Brilliant.
Yes, and we put in a handbill
now
educating you.
Doc, if I discover that cassava husk, you're going to pay me yes.
It's big technology, but it's doable.
Wow.
So we replace it with your reusable bag, and we give you a handbill explaining how single-use plastics cause flood, cause cancer, cause distortion in our environment. It disrupts biodiversity. I will give you an example. A single-use plastic,
yes,
nylon bag is waterproof.
Yes.
Water cannot pass through it.
Yes.
So we have drainage channels in Lagos where waters have to flow constantly through.
That's everywhere.
Styrofoam, single-use plastics, they're lighter than water. They would float scientifically.
Yes.
So what happens when they keep moving and get to a mesh, or they clog a drain?
Plug up, yes.
Backflow. Floods. It's as simple as that. So many other factors cause floods, but this is a major issue in Lagos. Also, plastics are carcinogenic at times.
Cancer? They produce cancer?
When fishes eat it, and we continue to eat such fish, we are introducing little
plastics into our system,
which is not biodegradable. We cannot digest it.
But it stays in the body.
Yes.
Oh Lord.
So what we are
That's
advocating, I'm not trying to frighten anyone. What we're just advocating is the less plastic we use, the better for the environment. Reuse it, recycle it, like the bottled water, for example.
Yes.
You can buy 24 and keep refilling it with seaway,
rather than
buying bottled water every time. And I'm happy to announce that Lagos State is going big on recycling.
Okay.
We're going to be recycling bottles. We would pick. Loma is already doing that, picking from house to house, picking from home to home. We have recycling points where you would even get incentives, yes, for bringing your plastics.
Excuse me. I'm sure a lot of Nigerians are interested in that.
Yes, Nigerians, Lagosians, start keeping your plastics. Very soon, we would have a scheme that would pick up door to door, or you would have centers where you would drop them for an incentive or even money.
Aha!
Yes.
That is it. To that money, I'm there. I'm going to stock up all the plastics in my neighborhood.
And that's where waste to wealth
comes in. Yes.
Now, when we talk about vegetal waste and say Olushosun dump sites.
Yes, for instance.
I'm sure we've heard of spontaneous combustion.
Yes.
Like it
from
just
that site,
catches
yes, just
fire.
yeah.
That happens because certain chemical reactions occur when we put certain things together. And there's biogas produced, methane, which is highly flammable.
Wow.
Now, this biogas can be used to cook. I have seen models online, please check it out, where domestic village women
yes.
pour all their waste
yes.
into a pit,
yes.
put the relevant digesters,
yes.
and pipe it to their gas.
Wow.
It works. and it's not rocket science.
Now, wait, please. I'm sure our viewers would like to question you about that. So please take your pencil and paper or your biro and paper, and be sure when you come back from the break, you'll be able to ask one or two things about all this. Now, you said that you pipe the waste. They will dump it into a well and then cover it up.
Get gas from it.
Yes, and cook with it.
And pipe it into your gas cooker. It's your waste, and
so you're not
domestic.
buying. You're not buying.
No, that's domestic. Now, in terms of industrial,
yes.
Imagine how much kilowatts of power we can generate from waste.
Wow. So even that solution, for instance, we can turn into like a.
And there's a plan for that coming up.
Okay, go ahead. So let us have more incentives we are going to be getting. Yes. So how much money am I going to get by bringing my plastics? Yes. You're not telling me, or you should tell me. Now, okay, another thing that I have here on my table is this. So the responsibility for, now, is this like e-waste, what you have discussed now?
So electrical and electronic waste is totally different. That's the waste that comes from used electrical goods.
Yes.
Like fridges, freezers, air conditioners.
Yes.
Batteries.
Yes.
Mobile
especially
phones.
Batteries.
Yes, and mobile phones. There's a lot of material in these things that are extracted and can be sold when that machine reaches its end life. At the same time, if you're not disposing of it properly, there's a lot of greenhouse gases to be emitted. Hydrofluorochlorocarbon is a gas that was discovered years ago that was used to cool rooms, and all the scientists in the world were happy, only for us to realize, for them, to realize that no, something is wrong. It was causing global warming, that gas. And slowly, internationally, agreements were reached, protocols were signed. And they phased out hydrofluorochlorocarbons into something more environmentally friendly, CFC. And I'm happy to say the Federal Ministry of Environment is supporting refrigerator makers, foam makers, mattress. They use some of those chemicals. We have found alternative, mechanized technology to phase that away gradually in Lagos State.
Some good news again coming from, well, like I said to you, she is not a surgeon, but she has a passion for what we need to do to keep ourselves alive. We'll take a break. When we come back, it is you and her. So stay with us.
We must dilate the eyes. We look for if they have cataract, we look at the back of their eyes. They have glaucoma. We do a full workup for them.
You will remember the giant strike they will make them. You will remember with nostalgia.
When we look in deeper than we ever looked in before to ensure that we close all the loopholes.
Manifest as physical and every edition is an arresting conversation with distinguished Nigerians from various strata of the society, bearing their minds on how we can realize the Nigeria of our dreams. Join us live on Close Flow, Monday every week here on NTA2 Lagos Network Center. Close Flow. The conversation is about you.
We must say again that it's almost a little frightening, I may say, when you hear some of the things that Dr. Fashewe has been saying here. But the good news is that there is always the wealth element from this waste. That is, if you know what we're doing, if you do it carefully, if you do it properly, if you do it scientifically, we actually can convert what is a threat to our lives to become some comfort zone for us. Now she has made us to see that all of us as producers of waste, as producers of things which can impact on the environment, we are also responsible on how we actually can eliminate the threats in those things that we are producing. So we have to look at all that. One thing I think we will need to discuss with the Environmental Protection Agency will be the environmental impact assessment. Do we have that culture? Do we have that capacity to look at the environment and say, okay, these are the damages that can come from these things that we are producing or that we're using? If you don't have, what do we need to do to make sure we have what we need to evaluate the impact on the environment of our activities? Now, these activities again, when I return with that now, we're going to be looking again at the question of noise pollution. Yes, many people don't seem to understand that is actually an environmental threat. Yes, you mentioned it earlier on. You wake up in the morning or you cannot sleep at night because of the noise coming from the generator. How about the noise coming from the church or the mosque or the party or the clubhouse or the, so we need to look at all those things. How about the noise on the street? You can hear the horns blaring as you're driving between 1 kilometer and 2 kilometers. The noise level of horns coming from cars, buses, and all that can actually make somebody, go a little bit. Now, so we now be asking about that, and we also looked at the fact that Lagos, as a center of excellence in Nigeria and as the most populated city on the continent, may need to do more on how to safeguard the environment, and that is where she says she's very passionate about that. And so we are going to be finding out. I like the question of incentives. So what will come to me if I keep my plastics? What will come to me if I return my plastics? What will come to me if I don't use plastics, if I'm using alternatives to plastics? What will come to me if I can convert, my waste, at home to become, well, like as it were, a gas for me to cook? Stay with us. We are not done yet. Stay with us. We'll take a message and then we'll be back with you.
Experience unlimited super-fast internet access from Entel 4G. Entel. Live more. Hey, beautiful. Your eyes, your smile are all begging me to take you home tonight.
Now reading page 3.
Experience unlimited super-fast internet access from Entel 4G. Entel. Live more.
All right, thank you for staying with us. You're still on tour, Close Flow, coming to you from NTA 2 Lagos Network Center. And like I said to you, the general manager, the first female general manager of that agency that is taking care of the environment. She's been okay, don't let me steal the show from you because you own this show, actually. Now, before I do that, I must quickly say this. We have a message here from Alaji Karade Bello, a resident of Lagos, a citizen of Lagos, a Lagosian to the core, who says, I want to congratulate Dr. Adedolapo Ayokunle Fashawe as the first female GM of Lagos State Environmental Agency. What do you say to Alaji? He says he's congratulating you.
Thank you very much, Alaji.
All right, and he says it is most expected to make the environment safe for the general well-being of the citizen. So please keep it up, and then you are going higher than these by the special grace of Almighty. He prays for you, okay? He says, amen. That is Alaji Karade Bello, a resident of Lagos. Thank you, Alaji. And then we want more comments and more calls from you. So now, quickly, you have already said something about the difference between the electronics and all this other. Now, one other thing that I find a little bit difficult to understand in Lagos is the noise level. You have mentioned the one coming from generator, but how about the one coming from social outlets, churches, mosques, bars, and
Okay, so we also have a part on our website where it says log in your complaints, and yes, noise pollution complaints. And we found out from statistics that 70% of the complaints are coming from religious
organizations
across all board. The remaining 30% is from social activities or industrial activities. Now the issue is, in town planning, there's residential area, there's mixed area, there's commercial, and there's industrial. Now when you bring religious activities
into residential,
it becomes a problem. And people are now aware that there's a channel to complain, and there's a law that says the sound emanating
from
residential area during the day
should not
be more than a certain decibel, 52, and at night even lower
than that. Yes,
because ambient noise,
the acoustic,
is reduced.
yes.
So if we're going to put a religious center, we have freedom of worship.
We agreed, yes.
You can worship in your home. You can pull people together. But the fact that your neighbor is being disturbed means everyone in that complex can hear. So we start to teach acoustics, sound engineering, how to soundproof. And I'm very happy to see that a lot of churches are now soundproof in Lagos. And not only that, I must commend NASFAT, the Islamic organization. I'm a Christian, and when we started,
you said commend them.
Yes, I will say why.
Okay.
When we started campaign against noise pollution, I came across a letter. We spoke to religious heads. We called meetings. We tried to, advocate, educate before enforcement. And NASFAT put out a letter in Lagos saying all mosques in Lagos, NASFAT mosques, must remove the amplifier.
Yes, outside.
Yes.
The loudspeakers.
Yes, and it was
done.
There was absolute compliance without any push or threats. And that is what we're expecting from all of us. Self-compliance is easy. Whatever we're doing that disturbs our neighbors can't be good. The God we worship doesn't even want that. Yes, that's the situation.
All right, she has already again captured some of the moods. So we will take. I think we have a message from one of our sponsors. We'll take a message from them, and then we'll come back to the studio. Just stay with us. I know that there's a lot of interest. Many of us would like to make some comment or ask some questions. So just stay with us, and let's take this quick message. Then we'll get back to you.
Experience unlimited superfast internet access from Entel 4G. Entel. Live more. Hey beautiful, your eyes, your smile are all begging me to take you home tonight.
Now reading page 3.
Experience unlimited superfast internet access from Entel 4G. Entel. Live more.
It's never been this fantastic. Your favorite exciting programs delivered to you directly on your digital devices. Video streaming so smooth and easy on www.nta2.tv. From arts to entertainment, education to news, business to politics, technology to weather. There's never a dull moment on www.nta2.tv. Our You Journalist platform on nta2.tv allows you submit your eyewitness account of stories around you just with a few clicks. To get your product and services going viral, advertise on NTA2.tv. You could also follow us on our social media platforms. Twitter at NTA2LNC, Facebook NTA2 Lagos Network Center, YouTube NTA2 Lagos, and others. For further inquiries about advert placement and partnership, please contact May Gas on +234 802 520 2520. Ayo on +234 805 524 1384. Yusuf on +234 806 041 2236. Bolaji on +234 805 351 9998. NTA2 Lagos, your reach out station.
All right, thank you for staying with us. I'm sure that you're almost ready now with all your questions, but quickly, let me take advantage because I'm very proximate. Social distancing kept some of you away, so I'm here. Now, quickly, let's come back to this product. When we say, so what risk? You said there are so many things in those products when they come to the tail end of their lives.
Yes. So, do you have a mobile phone?
Well, I have a Palasa.
So this thing contains mercury. It contains gold in very tiny amounts.
Bits, yes.
Yes. There's something called urban mining, which the Chinese are very good at. They collect all these funds, remove the elements that are worth
buried inside.
Yes.
Yes.
After its expiry date, they recycle the plastics and bring it back to us as chairs, and we buy.
Wow.
Now, the danger in electrical and electronic waste is, if it is not handled properly,
yes,
there's certain chemicals. you don't even have to look for acid in your battery. Mercury in batteries, it causes cancer, it causes climate change, global warming.
Wow.
If it is not properly recycled. Now, there's an association in Nigeria called Extended Producers Organization of Nigeria. We're trying to push out laws that say whatever you manufacture, you must have a plan for its end life. Sell, either you claim back, which is being done abroad. Old phones, we will upgrade it with a little fee.
Yes.
Those old phones is waste to wealth. They're not stupid. And we're advocating people to look into this. And, there's computer village.
Yes.
There's so much going on. We just need the right technology and the right know-how.
To convert.
This Palasa is not...
Palasa.
It has not reached its end life. There's so many things that can come out.
Okay, my producer says we have that you did some during the COVID-19 lockdown. So let's look at some of the things that you were able to capture. Yes, can we have that? Yes, where was this?
Okay, so during COVID-19,
yes,
we wanted people to comply with the protocol.
Yes.
No social gathering.
Yes.
No activities. This place was a club.
Wow.
Where there was a party all night, no nose masks, nothing. And apart from the noise pollution,
yes,
there were also a health threat to the environment.
Yes.
That's what happened there.
At that point. Okay.
So, you would say the environment is my own business.
Yes.
But health is also my business. Because whatever you do, we were called for noise pollution, but they were breathing air in and out, spreading COVID. I wouldn't ignore that as well. So that's what was going on.
Okay, now there is something else again that I would like to quickly draw to your attention. Now, you have mentioned some of the dangers that may come from some of the products that we actually... Which other health hazards can we be exposed to from waste?
Okay, we will start from the head to the toe.
Yes.
There can be brain cancer from lead, from mercury. There can be eye issues from particulate matter in the air. There can be lung issues, lung cancer.
So
we've had people who have never smoked before.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, last year, December, CNN announced that a young girl, 13, died of air pollution because she
13?
lived in a highly industrial area. Wow. And she was asthmatic.
Oh.
And that was the first time in recent times that the diagnosis, cause of death in the UK, first time ever, will be called air pollution. Wow. And that should open our eyes. A lot of people are damaging their lungs without knowing.
Just by breathing in, yes.
Yes. We have hypertension, diabetes, we have blood issues, we have bleeding issues, we have cancers, we have skin issues. Skin.
Yes, skin.
From polluted
yes.
water.
People have
Diarrhea.
discoloration, yes.
Diarrhea. Mercury itself on the skin can cause renal failure. I'm going to medical now. Oh, the list is endless.
Wow.
What is bad is bad. What is good is good.
Now, the other thing again that we need to probably be looking at will be the fact that you are also working with some United Nations committee on some of these issues that we have raised. So at the international level, how much of collaborations do we have at the international level?
Okay, we're very lucky as a state to have a governor who is open to collaborations and technical support. If you look at themes, the S there is sustainability and looking for sustainable investments, collaborations, international support. I'm very happy to say that we in Lasepa currently are running a project with the World Bank. We have 6 air quality machines stationed around the metropole of Lagos.
Wow. Quality machines, what are they doing?
We are getting, you know what you see on CNN?
Yes.
Quality of air.
Yes.
We, for the first time, are able to collect that data, sponsored by World Bank, analyze it, then we can do source apportionment and say this area
has this higher level of threat
and it is not safe for humans to dwell. That is a big thing.
Wow.
And also, we are able to show the vulnerables what the weather is like,
yes.
what the air is like.
Yes.
If you're asthmatic and you react to particulate matter, very soon you will know the days to go out
and when not to go out,
and where to go and where not to go. Thanks to World Bank. United Nations also is helping us with electrical and electronic wastes. They're supporting manufacturers to switch to better technology.
Yes.
They're supporting manufacturers to plan for the end life of their machines. Also, we have
I'd like you to say that again. So from the word go, so this is my Palasa phone now, for instance. The manufacturer will be required to actually plan on when to exit from.
It's when it's half-life, when it's done, expired.
Yes.
The manufacturer must put a leaflet in the carton saying what and where you can do with it. It's called, it's a responsibility for the producer. If we look at Coca-Cola,
yes, for instance, yes,
or Nestle water,
yes,
there's a tiny circle that says dispose in a refuse bin.
Yes.
Very tiny.
Yes.
That's extended producer's responsibility, telling you to dispose of it in an environmentally sustainable way. Yes.
So that you should not dump it on the street. Don't dump it in the
So
the
we
gutter.
want manufacturers and producers to do more of that. And there's a law guiding and guarding that activity.
Yes, we need to come to that. Because again, it's like Nigerians are used to being, as it were, lawless. Or let me say, maybe not lawless. Maybe a little bit of, you just take things for granted. You just don't think nobody's going to take it to. I mean, you're not responsible to anybody. So how do we deal with that?
But the truth is, ignorance is not an
excuse in the law, yes.
We have laws, section 187 of Lasepa laws. Yes, I think it's section 187. It says you have to pay. If you're a manufacturer, you're a producer, you store chemicals, you store hydrocarbons, petroleum products and all. You have to pay an environmental development charge, which is what we use to remediate, clean up whatever
you have produced.
It is a statutory tax. And as a matter of fact, the world is moving towards ensuring that a certain percentage of your annual budget is dedicated to keeping the environment clean, because there's no boundary. The other day, a nuclear explosion happened somewhere far
away
in Asia. And in South Africa, they were picking radionuclear activities in the air. So we have no boundaries. The world has to come together. We have signed the Kyoto Protocol, we have signed the Montreal Protocol, and recently the Kigali Amendment Protocol, which is suitable to
our environment.
Now,
talking about environment, Lagos is a melting pot. You know that yourself.
Yes.
Virtually, I mean, the influx of, don't let me say foreigners, the influx of people into Lagos, Nigerians, foreigners, whatever, I mean, on a daily basis, if you put an estimate to it, maybe in thousands.
Yeah.
So, how do we manage the environment with such surge?
Okay, it's a multi-sectoral thing. It's not only environment. There's transportation, there's health, there's even special duties, there's RRS, there's task force. We all come together to handle this influx. It's not only regarding the environment, they also come with diseases. So, the state is aware of this, and we're on the watch out at all our borders to ensure entrepreneurship is welcome. If you have good intentions and you want to set up a business in Lagos, it's welcome. But the borders and the federal security as well take care of that.
Okay, now let's come to some of the things that we also need to highlight. Some of the activities that you're able to put together. Now, the COVID itself, like you said, made us to. COVID gave us a chance to sit back and reflect on things. So going forward, post-COVID, how do you think we can manage our environment post-COVID? Now that COVID is almost over, the vaccines are here, so people are feeling they are feeling a little bit comfortable. Are we safe to go ahead? Can we run some of the visuals from COVID? Yes. Now look at some of the things we're doing here. Now, so post-COVID, are we still going to be doing some of this?
So, this was an advocacy visit.
Yes.
That wasn't even COVID. We were just dealing with noise pollution. But I want to talk about COVID. During COVID, we had CNN announced our air quality to be Lagos, one of the best in the world on a certain day.
Wow.
I think it was in August.
Wow.
And that's because there was a lockdown. The skies were blue.
So the transportation, yes.
We actually had
one.
First time ever. And I keep thinking, must we have a pandemic
before we now?
The answer is no. We can do it. So with COVID, it's two-pronged. One, environment. Two, health. The poorer your air quality, the more susceptible you are, not only to COVID, but to die from COVID. So you cannot separate environment and health.
Yes.
Post-COVID, we need to be more conscious of our environment. You would see that in China, it was normal for them to wear those things every day. And it used to look funny. But now, I'm not saying we must wear, but ensure that the air you breathe is clean. If your neighbor is polluting the air, please go to our website, report. If the generator across the road is, it's fuel that is not combusting well.
That where the seed,
emits
yes, that
soot.
kind of, yes.
Now, the people that make generators did not make it to be like that. It is when you don't service it, when you don't take care of the machinery, and then petrol or diesel is not properly combusted, we have dangerous chemicals coming out. So, well, we all look out for ourselves.
Thank you very much, Doctor. See, I didn't want to stop this because it was just getting to me, but my producers will not let me rest. They are saying to us, however, guests will come into the studio now, and therefore we need to be out of here. But let me just say a big thank you to you for coming to the studio. The conversation is never over. On Close Flow, on our social media handles, engineers will join us. I'm sure many of them will still come and ask many questions. So be ready to answer their questions for them. But let's just say a big thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure to be here.
And we hope to have you again. Maybe by the time all those machines are working, then we'll be able to just look at them and preview them.
I hope you would put out our social media handle.
Yes, we will.
And people can get in touch with us.
Okay. All right. So thank you, Nigerians, for watching, for being part of the conversation with Dr. Adedolapo Ayokunle Fashawe. And she actually, did more than just justice to what we are looking at. That is how the environment can be safely managed for our wealth, for our health, and for the next generation. So if you believe in that, please go to our website, go to our social media handles, and go and put your questions to her, or go and congratulate her for the massive work that she's doing. So until next time, it's bye from us.